Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to study a theorem on magnetostatistics. So the theorem is, we are going to prove the Lorentz force can be expressed as the sum of two surface forces. So we are going to prove Lorentz force is equal to sum of two surface forces. This is what we are going to prove in this video. So the Lorentz force can be expressed as the sum of two surface forces. So what are these two surface forces means? One surface force in the direction of the magnetic field line and the other is perpendicular to the surface of magnetic field line. So we are going to express Lorentz force as a sum of a surface force in the direction of a magnetic field and the surface force normal to the surface of the magnetic field lines. This is what we are going to prove in this theorem. Now we are going to consider some volume V. So V is the volume of the conducting fluid bounded by the surface S. So V is the volume of the conducting fluid bounded by the surface under the influence of magnetic field B. So we know the Lorentz force, which is the magnetic body force or Lorentz force per unit volume of the conducting fluid is given by J cross B. So the Lorentz force per unit volume of the conducting fluid is J cross B. This J cross B, we can write it as curl of B cross B, because using Ampere's law, J is del cross B. And we know that B is nothing but mu into H. Mu is permeability. This also mu into H. So B is nothing but mu into H. So I have substituted the value of B as mu into H. Also, this curl of mu H cross mu H can be written as mu of minus del of H square by 2 plus H dot del H. Using vector identity, before this can be written as mu of del cross H cross H. This can be written as, I have taken mu common, so mu into del cross H. Now using vector identity for del cross H, we can write it as minus del of H square by 2 plus H dot del of H. This we have already simplified in detail in previous derivations. So using vector identity, I have directly taken del cross H as minus del of H square by 2 plus H dot del H. Now we are going to integrate this equation with respect to volume V. So our volume integral V, J cross B is equal to integral of minus, I will take integral of mu del of H square by 2 dV plus mu into H dot del of H dV. This integration is also with respect to volume. Now we are going to change this volume integral to surface integral. So before going to change volume integral into surface integral, this first integral, I am going to write this as minus integral of, this can be written as del mu H square by 2, because mu is constant dV and second term remains as it is. Now I am going to change volume integral into surface integral using Gauss divergence theorem. So using Gauss divergence theorem, I'll get S mu h square by 2 n cap ds plus second integral remains as it is mu h dot del h dv. I'll take this as equation 1. So our LHS is integral of j cross b dv is equal to 1 surface integral plus volume integral. Now I am going to consider some non-zero constant alpha. So alpha is our non-zero constant. For this alpha we have alpha of v h dot del h dv. We can write this as integral of alpha h dot del h dv because alpha is just constant. So to find this value, I am going to use vector identity again. So for vector identity, h dot del of h is equal to h dot del of h dot alpha plus h dot alpha into del dot h. Again del dot h is 0 because of solenoidal property. Therefore alpha of h dot del h is nothing but h dot del of h alpha. I'll take this as equation 2. Also using another vector identity alpha of phi a. Phi is a scalar function, a is a vector function. Phi of del a plus a dot del of phi. So using this vector identity, del of phi a is equal to this. In the place of phi, I am going to substitute h into alpha, and in the place of capital A, I am going to substitute capital H. So in place of phi, I am going to substitute h dot alpha, h alpha, and in place of A, I am going to substitute h. So this equation becomes this form. Again using solenoidal property, del dot h is equal to 0. So if we notice this equation, I'll take this as equation 3. Equation 2 is also h dot del into h alpha. Equation 3 also h dot del h alpha. So from equation 2 and 3, if LHS is equal, RHS should be equal. Therefore we will get del of alpha h dot del h is equal to del of h dot h alpha dot h. See here in equation 2 RHS is h dot del into h dot alpha. Equation 3 also h dot del into h dot alpha. So RHS is same, therefore LHS should be equal. Therefore from 2 and 3 we will get this equation. What is this integral? I'll take this as star. In this equation we are having alpha h dot del h. That is alpha h dot del h is del of h alpha h. So I am going to substitute this in this equation. So we will get, and this equation is same as our equation 1, mu of h dot del h dv. Our equation star becomes alpha v h dot del h dv is equal to integral of v del h alpha dot h into dv. Now I am going to use surface. I am going to change volume integral into surface integral using Gauss divergence theorem again. So I will get surface integral of h alpha dot h ds. Now I can take alpha outside because alpha is constant. Therefore, this alpha will get cancelled. Therefore, integral of h dot del h can be written as surface integral of h dot h ds. Now, I am going to substitute this value in our equation 1. So, our equation 1 is integral of j cross b dv is our LHS is equal to minus of mu h square by 2 n cap ds second term plus s of mu h dot h ds or n cap ds. Suppose if modulus of h r cap is equal to h cos theta, that is h n cap is equal to h cos theta, then our equation will reduce to this form, that is first integral remains as it is, s of mu h square by 2 n cap ds, second term is integral of s mu h dot h cos theta ds. I have just substituted h n cap as h into cos theta. So, h n cap ds as h cos theta dds. I have just substituted this value in the second integral. This value is nothing but our ds dash. ds dash is cos theta into ds. So, which is the projection of ds. If this is our ds, projection on ds will be ds dash. So, ds dash is the projection of ds, which is the direction of magnetic field. So, this will be the direction of magnetic field, means it is perpendicular to the surface. So, here we are having ds and here it is having ds dash. ds dash is projection on the surface, yes. Therefore, Lorentz force, that is J cross B, Lorentz force is equal to sum of two surface forces, one in the direction of the magnetic field line, another one is, this is ds dash is in the direction along the magnetic field lines, and this is in the direction normal to the magnetic field line. That's what we have to prove. We have to prove Lorentz force is the sum of magnetic field lines, surface force, Lorentz force is the sum of surface force in the direction of magnetic field line and normal in the direction normal to the surface. That's what we have to prove. Lorentz force is the sum of direction of the magnetic field line and in the direction normal to the magnetic field line. That's what we have to prove.